I'd like, does anyone have a question? I spoke yesterday evening about this time of the year, which is annually, please try and sit still, everyone, which is annually probably the most difficult period I have to go through between Rudi's birthday and Rudi's Samadhi day. But it's difficult in a good way because the energy is really strong. Somehow the cosmos is shooting down a lot of Shakti and demanding a much deeper level of inner work and inner growth. It happens every year at this time of the year. It's not an easy time, but it's a time to really make major steps in one's life, to grow and to truly evolve and to learn how to deal with the intensity of Shakti. I mean, it's almost like cosmic doctors are coming down and on me, working on me and transforming my chakra system, building a deeper inner strength, and making it possible for me. And I keep asking, really, literally, for help to give me the strength to deal with what's taking place in my life. I always kid around. I wish I was about 30 years younger, you know, but I'm not 30 years younger, and I am where I am. And the only way to deal with what's taking place is to be able to get big enough to absorb the intensity of the Shakti that comes at this time of the year. It has a purpose. It has a purpose to make each and every one of us grow, to trust the creative force inside ourselves, to trust that we are connected to a higher force. It knows much more than we do. And if we open to it and build a system that can absorb it, it will take us to a much deeper place in our lives. It's a time for major change. And I think, look, I know what I'm experiencing, and I think most of you are probably experiencing something similar. It's a time to truly let go. It's a time to just surrender who we think we are, what we think we are, what image we have of ourselves, what ego thing determines the way we function every day, and allow karma to change, allow life to change, and to relish in that change because it's going to bring rebirth. It's going to bring a newness. You know, it's like that poem by Keats. So winter's here, is spring far behind. And it's true. Rebirth is far behind. Look, when a woman gives birth to a child, this is not an easy thing. It's painful, it's difficult, but what comes is a miracle. What comes is pure love. And I think those kind of experiences remind us what we have to do every day of our lives to go through the difficulty, because on the other side of it, there's a reborn us. The child that's born is us. being capable of truly living with the heart more open, with more love inside us, and truly allowing that to determine the way the future of our life will be. So it's a great time. It's not an easy time, but it's a really great time to grow. Great time to change. It's no time to complain about how difficult it is, because that's really what a human being's got to go through if they're going to open to that other side of themselves that is reborn and connected to higher energy in the universe. And for some reason, every year, this time of the year is like that. It's always like this. And you think you'd finally get used to it. You never get used to it. It's really a very difficult time. But it's worthy of every ounce of effort I can make to get through it and open in a deeper place in myself. And hopefully, not only will I benefit from it, but all of you will benefit from it. Does anyone have a question they'd like to ask?
Stuart, is what you've been talking about what's often referred to as Shiva?
Excuse me?
Is what you've just been talking about what's often referred to as Shiva, that goes along with Shakti?
Yes. In fact, look, I mean, a part of this inner mantra that I've had over the last week or so is asking Lord Shiva to help me build the strength to be able to deal what the future of my life will become. Now, look, I'm not Hindu, I'm not Buddhist, I have no religion really. I believe in the development of a spiritual life. But sometimes you got to go to the higher forces and ask for help. Yes, it's not only just Shiva Shakti, it's the union of the male female energy. Shiva Shakti is the union of the male female energy. You have that in every religion. There's Yova and Shekhinah in the Jewish mystical faith, union of God and his bride. There's God and the Virgin Mary. I mean, in every religion, there's the union of male, female. So Shiva is just a term for it. Bringing together a oneness and a harmony inside oneself. Building, a foundation inside that is strong enough to allow the male-female principle to unify. All of this it's the same thing in every religion. But for some reason, this whole idea of Shiva has this kind of mantra that has been created for me that I just ask for the help of Shiva to give me the strength to be able to deal with what's happening in my life. And basically, would be the same thing asking for Jehovah for, for God, I mean, it's all the same reality, except it has different manifestations in different religions. I mean, in Hinduism, Shiva is just death and rebirth. It's all of movement through the universe, all of change, you know, and it's highly revered. Look, I've been in India a lot, and man, let me tell you, you have temples with the most extraordinary sculptures of Shiva, of Parvati, the bride of Shiva, the consort of Shiva. Uma Maheshwara, it's another aspect of Shiva. extraordinary sculptures that were created in the 6th century, the 8th century, 4th century in India to depict a state of consciousness that takes place inside a human being if they are growing and evolving closer to spiritual enlightenment. That's all it depicts. I've often talked about, I used to do meditation sessions in Pashupatinath in Kathmandu. And one of the most extraordinary things I saw there was there must have been, I don't know, 20 or 30 sculptures there of a Nandi, a lingam and a yoni. And this is all Shaivite stuff. This is Shiva stuff. And a cobra rising, and I began to realize the Nandi is the chi, is the power below the navel. The lingam and the yoni is the union of the male-female principle that takes place in the sexual area. And the cobra is the Kundalini rising because of that union. All three of those aspects have to work together. Call it Shiva, Shakti, Naga, call it whatever you want. Those three aspects of a human being need to work together if one is going to attain a state of enlightenment. In Hinduism, it's called Shiva Shakti. In other religions, it has different terminologies. And, certainly rebirth that takes place in a human being is like the Immaculate Conception. You understand? It's higher energy merging in our sexual area, giving birth to Kundalini. And it's it's the way a child is born in the world and the way we're born inside ourselves. It's kind of an immaculate conception. I don't think you would find that being taught by the Pope, but it's certainly my interpretation of it, giving birth to ourselves. I had no plans on talking about Shiva, but it's always a great subject. Thank you, Derek. Got me into a very good subject. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And just to final, until we bring together these two aspects of self, the male, female, enlightenment is an impossible state of being. We have to unify and create harmony within ourselves between these two forces, the masculine and the feminine. This has nothing to do with your sexual proclivities, if you're straight, gay, trans, this, that, the other. It has nothing to do with anything like that. It has to do with balance and harmony that's essential for the Kundalini force to rise up the spine. The male-female principle has to unify inside a human being. Does anyone have a question? Anyone else have a question they would like to ask? So please, let's all be smart about this period of time. Let's use this energy and just project inside ourselves major growth. We want to truly grow and attain a whole new level of creativity and a whole more profound connection with God or higher energy. And, it's like Christ had to spend 40 days and nights in the desert. The Buddha, the same thing, fasting in the desert, struggling with the devil, we have to go through something. If we open deep enough inside, we build the strength and the energy to deal with those forces that are trying to keep us from developing spiritual enlightenment, becoming enlightened beings. It takes a spiritual warrior to do this. And we all have that inside us, being a spiritual warrior. We have to slay the negativity. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no more questions, thank you. God bless you. Thank you, Derek, for bringing this out of me. This really made the session really worthwhile. It was terrific. And thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for making me work as hard on myself as I have to work. Sometimes I really want to just go hide in a corner and say, my God, how much more can you do? But your presence here really makes me work on myself in a very deep way. And I need people in my life to bust my chops, especially, when busting my chops is going to help everybody grow spiritually. So there'll be class tomorrow evening, another, class like this on Thursday. Looking forward to seeing everybody. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening and a wonderful day.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you, Stuart.